Good afternoon, good evening, Facebook in the UK. This is Stephen, and we are live today, and it is myself and Hani Mourra.
Hello, hello.
Welcome. Hello. Now, we're here tonight to talk about something rather special that I've been using for the last 6 weeks, and that is something called Repurpose.io. And can we start off with the first easy question, Annie? What is Repurpose.io?
Repurpose.io is meant to be your virtual assistant. It's meant to take all your content that you produce, your Facebook Lives, your podcasts, and distribute them out to other channels like YouTube and SoundCloud, etc. So it's meant to do all the boring, monotonous work of downloading and uploading to YouTube. It does it all for you automatically. Helps you grow your audience, get more attention on other channels outside of Facebook.
All I can say is that it works. I've had the pleasure of using it for the past 4 or 5 weeks. And I mean, I do 6 to 8 shows a week. Now that's a lot of video on Facebook Live. And up until now, up until 5 weeks ago, I had to download each video. And then, having downloaded it, filling my hard drive up, I had to upload it to YouTube. Then I had to set the title, put the text in, do the tags. All that's gone. Even the cover photo.
Mm-hmm.
All that is handled by the system. So can you explain how it works? Or do you want to show a screen share?
No, let's talk a little bit how it works and why you want to do this kind of thing, and then we can hop into showing it how it works. But how it works is it's very, very simple. First step is you connect your Facebook. You log into an app, so there's no software to download, nothing, no files coming to your computer, no downloading or uploading. Everything is happening on our servers. So you connect your Facebook. You hit the connect button, you authenticate, blah, blah, blah. I'm allowing this app to access my Facebook, connect your YouTube, and that's the first step. Next step, you make a set of rules, a workflow. You just say, every time I publish a video, I go live on Facebook, I want you to send the video to YouTube, and you can pick the playlist, and that's it. You turn on the auto button so that it does this automatically for all your episodes. You can pick and choose episodes, but you can have it go all your episodes, and you can have it do it automatically. So you never even need to log into this app ever again.
And that's it. I mean, the phrase that you come up with, which I love and I've been using quite a lot, is set and forget.
Set and forget, yes.
Yeah, because once you, I mean, what I did was I attached my social media accounts, Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. Then I set up the workflows to go from Facebook to YouTube, Facebook to SoundCloud. And I did it manually first, just to get a sense of how that it worked.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just so intuitive. I mean, that's the thing about good software, is that it's intuitive to use. I mean, I was able to set it up and get it working quite easily, because it's what we're talking about here is saving people hassle and time, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It's meant to take away like the tedious, monotonous work that you do, taking away this downloading, uploading business. There's no need. You just need to focus on content, focus on your show, focus on bringing on good guests, having good conversations, interacting with your audience. And after your show is done and everything's up, the replay is up on Facebook, then our software takes over. And it works magic. You don't need to think about anything, you don't need to worry about anything. You set it up, you configure it the way you want, and the software will take over. It'll take over all your videos, put them onto YouTube, convert them to audio, send them to your SoundCloud if you want, convert them to audio, send them to your Dropbox. It's very flexible. You're in control.
That's it. You still retain control.
Yes.
And that's the thing that's magical to me, because you have to, we're going from A to B, A to C, A to D, A to E, and A to F. And you've got to make sure that the A is correct, haven't you, first? The Facebook video. Can you take us through what you should check before you actually go ahead?
Yeah, so what I would do is every time I go live, I'm done going live. Whatever tool you want to use, Be Live, obviously is one of the most popular one. There's so much you can do with any tool you want. But the idea is once you're done, you can edit the Facebook Live video.
That's weird.
And give it a nice title.
On camera.
Clean up the description. If you want to upload a perfect image, say a thumbnail image, you can upload that as well.
So anybody else.
Once you edit the audio, once you edit the video, then leave it alone.
I can't see or hear anybody and Be Live.
It kind of takes over
I'm going to
push the video to YouTube automatically. So definitely you want to edit that video on Facebook, give it a proper title.
I cannot see or hear either of you. I'm going to refresh.
Yeah, right, okay. Now, we've just had our first comments, which is from Corinda. So welcome, Corinda. And David Vaughan is trying to join us, which is good. And this time, because I know he has questions too, I'm going to bring David in.
All right.
And he's getting the flashing lights and everything so that he knows. Hello, David.
Yeah, now I can hear. Now I can see. Now we're all on camera.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome, David.
Hey.
Right. So tonight, David, we're actually looking, as you probably, and just confirmed from John that there is no echo, which is good. So that's good. So, David, have you tried Repurpose yet?
No, I have not. I think I began to sign up for it.
Okay.
And something didn't work out right, but it was probably on my end.
No worries. What we do is we've been the past few weeks we've been focusing on making the kind of your first experience a little bit better, like helping you guide you through the app. So you signed up early on, it might be a little bit confusing, but hopefully we've improved that. We have improved that. Hopefully we've improved it enough. But the first things you want to do is kind of go to the connections page. There's a page on the left-hand side, and you want to connect your Facebook account and your YouTube account.
Right. Right. And I think one of the issues was it wasn't connecting my YouTube account. And again, it may have been me. It was something that was, I knew it was new and starting up and stuff. And some people had had success with it. And so I was just kind of giving it some time myself. But it's good to hear that it's available. It certainly makes it easier for being able to repurpose the content that you create and then push to get out. And I may have missed this, but one of my issues with repurposing or one of the things that I do with repurposing is that I like having two versions. I like having a raw version, which is just everything from start to finish, and then taking it and polishing it up a little bit more. Yeah. Are you looking at being able to throw in, maybe intros or outros or both or something, and kind of connecting those dots up to make that a little bit more?
Absolutely. That's been a request actually many times for the audio and the video piece.
Right.
So
okay.
Basically taking the live video, giving it an intro and an outro, and then pushing it to YouTube for you. So definitely you would upload that intro and outro and we'd use it for all your videos. Yeah, that's definitely in the very near future. Okay. Even for audio, like people who want to take their Facebook Lives and make them into a podcast.
Right.
Audio, add an intro and outro, and then send that over to your podcast host or SoundCloud or wherever you want your audio to go. So definitely a great request, definitely in the very near future.
So are you looking at, because right now I think for audio and podcasts and everything, you're pushing towards SoundCloud, right? Right
now, see, I want to clarify. SoundCloud is to me, SoundCloud is like the YouTube of audio. So it's like another discovery place. I don't call it a podcast. I mean, it is a podcast hosting platform. I personally don't recommend it as a podcast hosting. if you want to do a podcast and you want it to go to iTunes, or Google Play, which are probably the two most popular destinations, you probably want to use something like a Libsyn or Blueberry.
Well, that's what I was going to. And do you already have those connections there, or was it just
actually in the works right now? So we're working with Libsyn, looking into Blueberry as well, Spreaker, the other true podcasting hosting platforms.
Right.
Doing the same thing. Take the Facebook Live, optionally add intro, outro, and then push it to Libsyn so that it goes live on your iTunes feed. So we're definitely adding that. Where Libsyn is probably going to be the first one we add.
And that would cover MP3s. So one of the other less popular, but it's probably because it's a little more difficult, or beyond people is a podcast, but it's basically an MP4. So it's actually a video podcast.
Actually, no. This will convert it to an audio for you. So we can take your Facebook Lives and send it to Libsyn as an audio podcast, as an MP3. And actually, now that you mention it, we can make it even a video podcast as well. But I think most people favor the audio podcasts. I think it's cheaper to host the audio files. And my opinion, I prefer, as a listener to a podcast, I prefer audio version than a video podcast. I like watching live streams, but I like listening to podcasts. So in my opinion, audio podcasts are more popular than video, but that can definitely be an option. There's no reason why we can't push the video to Libsyn video.
Right. Well, and I treat both the same way. Now, I've enjoyed some of them that I've run across, and so I know that it's a video type thing, but I can just sit there and just run it like an audio podcast, and
true.
And it does fine. But then if they're like showing something, I know I can come back and I can look and I'm like, oh, okay, that's neat. And like I say, it's not as popular, but it is something that is available for a lot of people to do. But it does require a different way to get it set up and get it available than doing a podcast. And more people are just trying to get their feet wet with doing the podcast. Yeah. What are you doing about the single channel of audio from Facebook?
To be honest, so far, we have no plans to do anything with the audio. It's just literally going to extract it out as it is.
Yeah.
And use it. It's not the greatest quality.
No, it's not. It wreaks havoc on any kind of editing platform when you download your videos and try and edit them.
Yeah. So depending on your needs, obviously, depending on your needs, you may not, maybe going on Facebook Live to a podcast may not be your style. It may not be something that you would do, but you can always repurpose that audio as something else as well, like just another piece of content on your website. But I mean, there's services like Auphonic.com that does some cleanup. We can possibly integrate with other services like that, but just to be completely transparent, in the short term, well, what we do now is we just take the audio as is. But definitely we can look into things about automating the cleanup of the audio. But it's, if it's poor quality it's hard to do much.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, there's no, it's if you're getting the bad quality already in, there's no way to sit there and take single channel, make it stereo or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
I know I'm at a far end of the spectrum when it comes to, what I look for and everything. You've got I'm sure your core base is they're not even looking at that type of stuff. So when I'm bringing that up, they're like single channel stereo. I don't understand. It just works. And that's true. It does. And then you get to another level and then there's people that have just recognized. I haven't, I can't say that I've actually looked into this, but when you go and download your video from Facebook, even though they offer an HD version, it's all 360p.
It's not true HD, no.
Yeah, well, it's nowhere near true HD.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the actual.
I know that there's an HD version available somewhere. It's just, and I didn't know if there was something that you all had tapped into and you had gotten a hold of it versus what we all get pretty much when we download the video.
Yeah, no, it's what they call HD is what we have access to. I mean, there's no.
It's the same as SD. It's just
I don't know why
they've got
to. This is something that's coming soon. They have the placeholder for it, but they haven't implemented yet. It's hard to say, but I mean, this is definitely like, there's magic in this tool, but there's not enough magic where I wish I can get the the true HD or the raw original.
Right. Yeah.
That would be awesome. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that it can do that. But whatever's available to us through the API or available to the user, so far seems to be the same.
And how are you future-proofing yourself against what Facebook loves to do and wreaking havoc towards those that develop? Which is changing the game, and all of a sudden what did work doesn't work or no longer works.
Everything we've done is through their APIs. So with their Facebook API, they don't really, like, we're not scraping any sites or doing anything funky like that. We're like, it's an approved app on Facebook. We had to submit it for approval. We got approved. And the APIs, they don't like remove functionality. They might deprecate or like kill a function a year or so. They'll give you a lot of warnings. So if they ever decide to remove a feature, we would have ample time to adjust. Yeah. So we've done everything we've done everything by the book through the APIs so the risk is minimal. But of course, if Facebook releases to change something, we will, do our best to work around it. But there's no.
And they never communicate when they're going to change it.
Well, with the APIs, they always give you warning. Like when you sign up as a developer account, they tell you, this API version, blah, 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 is, no longer available or is going to be obsolete in X amount.
Yeah, it's going to be deprecated.
Deprecated, that's the word.
Deprecated, yeah.
Yeah. So they do give you, when you sign up as a developer and you have an app, they give you a lot of warnings. But nothing like, I can't see anything drastic happening. And we're trying to integrate with more and more platforms, all through API. So no, we're not scraping any sites or snooping, because if you do that, you change something, and then they change something on their end, and all of a sudden you're.
So, are you looking at integrating with YouTube and pulling videos down off of YouTube and doing basically the same thing?
They don't let you. They don't let you. You are not allowed to download a video off of YouTube through their software interface. You can do it as a user. I can log into my account and download all my videos or download individual videos, but they don't give that access to developers. So I know there's tools that can do it. Again, they're snooping behind and they're doing things kind of shady. So we don't want to be, I'm not in that space. I'm in the space to follow the terms of service of each product, follow it by the book, and do things based using only their APIs and nothing else, because I don't want to risk getting in trouble or getting shut down by services.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's great questions. We're definitely looking at other video platforms as well, like Vimeo is another popular one. We're looking at maybe shooting out some snippets of video, like 2-minute snippets to Twitter.
Okay, that's good.
Sending that out. And then on the
Instagram, would you be looking at something?
Again, it's one of those where they say you're not allowed. They don't give you an API to upload video.
No, so one of my connections is a product, and they're not the only ones that do this, but Epoxy Hootsuite does the exact same thing.
Yeah,
you can upload.
Yeah.
And then basically what you get is a notification because you got the app loaded on your device.
Yes.
And then basically it downloads it onto your device and gives you the ability to upload it that way. So it's clunky.
It's clunky.
It does help.
But I do have a way right now, and that's Dropbox. So we integrated Dropbox. And that's why I've done this morning, actually. I've integrated. Okay. We have Dropbox connections, so you can have a workflow. Repurpose can send an audio or a video to Dropbox. And then if you have a Dropbox app, you can save that video to your computer, to your device, your phone or tablet.
Right.
And then from there, open the Instagram app and upload the video from there. So I've done that today, and it works. It's a workaround. It's a little bit clunky, but by using Dropbox and the Dropbox app on your phone, you can get the file on your phone easily and then upload it with Instagram app.
But you're giving the way to create the 60-second snippet to be able to do that? Or
that's the thing. Right now, I forget what the limit. Twitter is 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Instagram, I forget what the limit is for video. I have to look that up again. But we will. Right now, it's full episode, but we are working on snippets. so that you can decide based on maybe predefined time or start time, end time. You can define what you want to snip out and send to your Dropbox or Twitter. And actually, Instagram is interesting because the other way around, like I know a lot of people who are using Instagram to make videos, not stories, but actually upload videos to Instagram. Mm-hmm. The API lets us grab those videos. So if someone does a video on Instagram, we're going to add a support where we can grab the video and push that to Twitter or push that to Facebook and kind of reach out. I mean, Facebook, you won't need to because Instagram and Facebook automatically share. But you can have that video sent to your Dropbox. So we are adding Instagram, but on the other side as a input, not as a output. And then the podcasting is interesting because we have a tool. We have one workflow where you can take an audio podcast, if you're doing your true audio podcast, and convert that to a video and push that out to YouTube. And then in the next couple of weeks, it'll be Facebook and Twitter as well as videos. So you have a beautiful video with an animated waveform, title, description, like a nice looking video automatically created for you and pushed out to those 3 channels, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So that's exciting for people who have audio content and you want to get it on video platforms.
Right. I'm just going to take a break for a few moments, let Annie catch his breath, and David as well. And I'm going to drop down because I know I would like to welcome everybody who's watching. After the show, we'll actually put links above so that you can actually take a look around, repurpose.io for yourself. There's a free trial, isn't there, Annie? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so the free trial lets you publish full-length episodes, whether it's a podcast, Facebook Live. You can do up 4 episodes, and so you can connect. You can do 1 podcast or 2 podcasts, and 2 Facebook Lives. 4 episodes, any combination of what you want. Facebook Live to YouTube, or Facebook Live to SoundCloud, or podcast to YouTube, Facebook Live to Dropbox, you name it. You can do 4 episodes and give it a go and get a feel if this is something that's going to be helpful. And then if you decide that this is for you and you want to automate things, there's an automatic button that you turn on and off. Mm-hmm. And this is actually really cool because besides the fact that when you turn it on, it does all your episodes. You can just turn it on and go to bed and not worry about it, and it does all the work for you. But it gets even cooler because you can set. We're going to show us a little bit later. You can set date filters or hashtag filters, so that if you don't want every single video to go to YouTube, you can decide based on hashtag. So it's flexible, but also automated at the same time.
Right. I just got a quick question, I think, from Corinda. I'm going to bring him up, and then I'll...
Stephen, you can drop me off, because I don't know if BeLive ever fixed that bug problem. But anyway, I mean, I was done, and I don't want to monopolize. Honey, it was good meeting you. I've always enjoyed the stuff that you've done. Keep it up, and can't wait to see more.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank
if you want to stay around, David, please do. I'll just bring Corinda up for a moment. And hello, Corinda. Do you have a question for Annie?
Hello.
Do you have a question?
One question I want to ask you about the pricing. You know, the pricing. Like, the pricing is high. So I just want to know if I make the pricing lower.
Right. Now, the pricing at the moment is monthly. And can you explain how the pricing is structured, Annie?
Yeah. So if you're looking for a straight one-to-one, straight one Facebook profile or one Facebook page to YouTube, that starts at $12. $12 a month for unlimited episodes and unlimited length. There's no time limit. But if you're looking to do a little more, like if you're looking to do Facebook Live to audio, or you have a podcast on Facebook Live, you want to start mixing and matching and trying different things, that plan is at $20 per month. And that lets you hook up all your Facebook channels. So let's say you have a Facebook group, and then you have a couple of pages, personal profile, and you want to take each one of those Facebook accounts and send them to a different place, maybe a different YouTube account or maybe a different YouTube playlist. You can do all that with the $20 a month.
I've done all that. and all I can say is that it works. Now, you had a question. There is, if you do everything, the price is discounted to $20 a month.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Corinda?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you later. Take care.
Thank you.
And we'll bring David back.
Oh.
Right now. Yeah. Well, it's time to take a break, and I'm gonna do something, David. I'm gonna screen share. Okay, you ready for this? Should I?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to go big on the screen, and I'm going to switch, and this will take a second or two, but we should now be on repurpose.io. Can you confirm that?
Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
Right. David?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, good. Right. Okay. Annie, it's all yours.
All right. So Steve has been using it for a while now, so he's got a bunch of connections and a bunch of workflows set up. So let me just kind of clarify what the difference between a connection and a workflow. So a connection is basically your audio podcast. Yeah, the screen is a little bit...
Screen's a bit blurry there, Stephen.
It's blurry for some reason.
Difficult to...
yeah, it might be hard.
It's impossible to read the font.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to zoom. Is it possible to zoom in or crank up the resolution or crank down the resolution?
We're pushing that a bit. Okay. So you couldn't actually see it if you went full screen?
You can't. Well, you can't really. It's so
What
even you have a little bit of blurriness. Just
right. What did it look like on Facebook?
Blurry.
All right.
That's what
Okay.
I was looking at. I was trying to figure out if you were doing your thing or if this was a Be Live thing.
Well, no. This is basically an interview between myself and Annie about Repurpose, and
right.
I'm blown away by Repurpose itself. I've been using it now for 5 weeks, and I've used it even repurposed an episode of LVS 17 to SoundCloud with some success, and we were hoping to actually just do a quick screen share, but if nobody can see it, then it makes it very difficult. So we'll go back.
The resolution on that, is it Manicam that you're using?
Yeah.
You can change it to a lower resolution. It might make the font bigger. I remember doing that back in the Blab days. Good old Blab days.
Okay, want to go for it again then?
Yeah, let's try.
This is live video. I'm on the full screen. I'm going to go back and transfer. And how are we now? No, yes, no?
I'm not sure if that made a difference.
No.
Okay. Right.
Actually, I think that's even worse. Now it looks like we're reading Sanskrit. I think.
Okay. Well, just to point out that this is nothing to do with. Hang on a minute.
This isn't Be Live or anything. This is just probably Manicam or British Internet, one or the other.
It could be a combination of those.
But you were very large on camera.
Yeah, it seemed to zoom in your face, but not the screen. That's weird.
We're back to normal now.
Yeah, we can talk through it. I mean, if you want to put up a screen, we won't like walk through every single setting, but just in general, there's kind of two main sections of the app, and the first thing you want to do is connect any channels that you want to use. And most people who are doing Facebook Live would be Facebook and YouTube. So you say kind of what's my input and what's my output, and you connect those two channels. And connecting just means you hit a button, it pops up the traditional Facebook page, allow this app to access my videos. So we don't post anything for you, we just access the videos. Same thing with YouTube, it's kind of a one-time thing, and once you're connected, you're done that connection phase. And then the next thing is what's called a workflow, and a workflow is it's 4 steps. You got to give it a name, and you say, what's my input? Facebook Live. Then you select, it gives you an option to pick the group or the page that you own. And then next step is, what's the action? You want to upload a video, or you want to convert the video to an audio. And the last step is, where do you want to send that video to? YouTube, SoundCloud, etc. So once you set that up, you hit save, and you can click a button and it'll show you all your Facebook Lives from that group or from that page. And you can hit a button to actually publish an episode, just to give it a try. And once it's all set up and you're happy with it, there's a button called Auto, my favorite button. You turn on the auto switch, and it goes through and it does all your episodes that you've got. And if you don't want to do all your episodes, you have some settings where you can decide, I only want episodes after a certain date, or I want only episodes that include this hashtag, or you can say, I only want episodes that exclude this hashtag to go publish to YouTube. So you have control in the sense that you can manually publish episodes, or you can have automation where it does everything for you based on your own rules, hashtags or dates.
Yeah. Basically, it does everything that you need to actually manage.
I'm going to drop off. I've got to go pick up my son. So
okay, David, take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Right. Okay. And we're now back. Yeah, it does everything that you need to repurpose videos across the platforms. I'll just explain that the platforms we're talking about are YouTube, SoundCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive, but you just said that you're adding to those.
Yeah, we're adding Twitter as an output, and we're adding Facebook as an output. Not for Facebook Lives, but if you're doing a podcast and you want to share that on Facebook as a video. So we're adding Facebook and Twitter. And then after that, we're adding Libsyn, like the podcast hosting company. So if you really want to do a podcast that goes to iTunes, and we're going to add options so you can take your Facebook Live, get it converted to a video, get it converted to an audio, and push that to Libsyn, Blueberry, Spreaker, any of those top podcasting platforms. There was actually a question about WordPress that popped up a second ago. It's a very good question. I would like to answer.
All right, okay. Just let me scroll back.
Yeah.
All right, okay. And there's the question from Carlos. Is it also for WordPress?
WordPress, we have another tool that handles WordPress. So we have a separate WordPress plugin that takes all your Facebook Live videos and embeds them on your WordPress site automatically. The video itself and all the comments as well. So it makes a blog post, adds a title description, adds the video, and imports all the comments from Facebook onto your WordPress site. And now we have a simple WordPress.
Yeah, and Jonathan Tripp was using it, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, with some success.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of people using it now. And so that's not part of Repurpose. It's a separate WordPress plugin. At some point, they're probably all going to get merged into the brand called Repurpose, because it's another way of repurposing your content, right? As a blog site. But at the moment, it's a separate WordPress plugin. And it's not monthly. It's $67, and with an optional renewal per year. So it's $67 a year to use that WordPress plugin and get all the updates, etc. So that's a great question. And at some point, we will integrate WordPress into Repurpose so you can publish from Repurpose to WordPress. But at the moment, it's a separate plugin.
All right. Okay, I want to combine two questions. Carlos has said, how many videos a week can this, well, if you answer this question first, and I'll come to mine. How many videos a week or day can this handle? So how many videos can you transfer a day?
I don't want to say unlimited, but basically it's all based, we have multiple servers going, and it's based on load. So depending on how many people are publishing at the same time. So like, it's not going to take down the server. It's just going to enter the queue, and it's going to wait your turn. And the queue is actually pretty smart. So it's not first come, first serve. It's based on the episode date. So let's say you just did a Facebook Live yesterday. And then all of a sudden, some guy's publishing 600 podcast episodes from last year. You're going to get the priority. because your episode is newer, so you'll be next in the queue. So we give higher priority to episodes that got published more recently. Like I had a guy yesterday email me. He had 600 podcast episodes, and he said, "I'm adding him to the queue. Do you see any problems?" I said, "No, just let's go."
I mean, that brings me to my question, and it's a very important one, because Repurpose I doesn't only work now and in the future; it looks backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. If you wanted to, you can do your every single video you've ever uploaded to Facebook or every Facebook Live you've ever done. You can have that A, sent to YouTube, and B, sent to your Dropbox if you want kind of your own copy. Yeah, it works in the past, and then it works going forward automatically. You don't need to log in anymore. You just set it up, and you just...
Because when Leland mentioned that Repurpose was out, a lot of people showed interest, including one, Rehan, who has 700 videos on Facebook Live.
He's using it.
He's using it
last week. Not last week. 3 days ago, I think he contacted me. He's going through 700 videos right now.
Wow.
So and we're still up. He asked me, is he going to crash the server? I said, no, we have multiple servers. He might, it's not going to be done in one day. It might take a couple of days to get through those 700 videos. So, yeah, there's no issues. No issues. If there's issues, we will handle it. But so far, it's just a big queue. It's not like it's doing all 700 at the same time. It's it's doing 3 or 4 at a time.
Yeah,
it's got more recent episode they'll get in the queue, then you'll be next. So it just manages itself.
Brilliant. And we're going to have a party now because we remember each other from Blab. Those were the days.
The good old days.
And now we're on Be Live, and Carlos has just done his 250th.
All right, congrats.
Congrats on that. And that's a lot of video and a lot of hard work because it takes time. And he's just telling us now that most of them are about 4 hours long. That is a lot of video.
Wow. Just one heads up. Make sure your YouTube account is verified. I'm sure most of you who've done 250 videos you probably know by now. Just YouTube doesn't let you upload a video more than 15 minutes unless you verify your account.
Yeah.
So it's just a one time. I'm sure Carlos knows that after doing 250 episodes. I'm just for anybody else out there, just because I've had a few customer support emails come in saying, "Oh, YouTube's rejecting my video." Well,
all right.
Just a one-time thing. You got to approve it, and then you're good to go.
Indeed.
Yeah, there was a question about the WordPress plugin. It's called Simple Social Press. Simple Social Press. If you're looking for the WordPress plugin.
Right. Okay. So Fernandez, there's the answer to your question.
I think you're going to put the links in the description.
Yep.
After.
I'll put the links in the description afterwards. Yes, the link for repurpose.io, I'll post it in this video on my page afterwards and on my personal profile as well, so that you can do the trial. As Annie said, you can do 4 operations. You could transfer one to YouTube, one to SoundCloud, of those, and it gives you a chance, because that's what I did first. I set out and said, right, okay, I'm going to take a video from my business page to YouTube, and that worked well. So then I took a video from my personal page, and that worked, and pretty soon I'd run out of the 4. And it's at that point you come to ask yourself a question: is this going to save me time? And from my own personal experience, I can say that this one application, as it stands at the moment, is saving me 6 to 8 hours a week. Now, when I cost that out over the course of a month against the monthly cost of $20, this is really, it's an easy decision to make. It's an easy decision because, as you said earlier, the time that you save, you can spend doing things which are more creative and ultimately more rewarding, because there's nothing so soul destroying as downloading a video, uploading it to YouTube, editing the title, the text, the tags, and the page, the cover page. So it saved me a host of work, and I thoroughly recommend it, which is why I have, I'm just going to bring this up now. I have written a Udemy course which covers all aspects of the Repurpose.io operation, with a scattering of IFTTT for some extra bits that I thought of just to round things off. I'll tell Andy what they are afterwards, and they'll probably end up in Repurpose, the way things are. But it takes you through setting up your accounts on each of the social networks we've talked about. It takes you through operating manually to all the 5 social networks. It takes you through automating those. It tells you what to do after you've posted to YouTube. So every single step that you could imagine has been covered in the course, and hopefully it will be a useful addition to anybody who's looking at Repurpose and wants answers to questions just to hand. Okay. Now, this is nothing against your documentation, sir. I'm just saying that I assume that the people coming to it would have no knowledge literally, and I've gone at it from that way. And that course I've just heard sort of 40 minutes ago is available on Udemy, and at the same time we post a link to try out repurpose.io. We'll post the link to Udemy as well. But the thing about this is, I know I've written the course about it, but it is so simple to use, and I congratulate you on that, because that's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
I've always been a fan of simple. I mean, a lot of people are a fan of simple, but all my WordPress plugins were always called simple something press, simple social press, because I find that very important. With Repurpose, I love the name Repurpose, so I obviously went with it, but I wish I could have incorporated simple, but simple is always my philosophy. I'm a very technical person, but I always like to break it down and focus on the user experience. And of course, I'm not going to say it's the best user experience right now. It gets better and better, but it's just something that I wanted to get it out there, and I wanted people to be as intuitive as possible. And I think from the feedback I get, once you, the first step is adding those 2 connections. Once you add them, the rest is just very, very intuitive. I get that a lot. So yep. I'm happy to hear that.
It's magic, and it's time saving. Right, now to round things off, Hani, I'll hand over the screen to you, and you can give just a short overview, and then we'll close. So Repurpose.io from the top in as long as it takes.
All right.
No rush.
Okay, so Repurpose.io. Take your Facebook Lives, take your podcast, take the content that you produce, get it out to as many different platforms as you can automatically. And the key is automatically, so that you can take your time and focus on creating this content and not spending 4, 5, 6, 7 hours after the fact trying to download and upload it, using up your internet bandwidth and hard drive space, etc. Nothing touches your computer. You don't even need to have your computer on. It does the distribution and converting to MP3s, to MP4s, uploading to YouTube, to SoundCloud. It handles it automatically. And more importantly, it's flexible, so you're still in control. And even if you have the automation built in, you're still in control of what data or what content gets pushed to YouTube and other platforms. So you're not tied to all or nothing. You can filter based on hashtags and dates. So you're still in control of what's happening, but you don't have to worry about downloading, uploading any files anymore.
That's what struck me. I mean, there's no tax on your hard drive because you're not downloading it. There's no time downloading. There's no time uploading. You don't have to have a computer on. You can, and I love this phrase, you can set it and forget it.
Yes, set it and forget it. And Carlos is asking, is the output video only? No, you can choose to have the video go to YouTube, or to have the video go to your Dropbox, or you can have it converted to an audio, to an MP3, and have that sent to YouTube, Dropbox, SoundCloud, and then soon we're going to integrate with podcasting hosts. So if you want to take a Facebook Live and convert it to a podcast, you'll get the MP3 right to your Dropbox right away.
And there is no limit on the number of workflows you can have.
Yeah, there's no limit on workflows. Not now, at least.
Right. Okay. So you could take one video and you could push it out to YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, and the 3 other sites that you mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
And once you've checked it manually, which is the, careful way to do it, then you can set it to automatic and it just runs.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you're still in control. And this is the thing I love. When I've done the Blabbing for Britain shows, and what I actually do is I change the text on the Facebook post to read in the past, make sure that text is perfect. Then when I'm happy with it, I put the tag in. And only when I put the tag in will repurpose.io queue it for the action. And that's key to me because it means I'm in control. The process is automatic, but I start it. And that's brilliant.
That is actually, I've never heard of anyone do that. It just dawned on me how brilliant that is because you don't have to keep turning. You can leave the automation on repurpose, but you control it by putting the right hashtag in there. That's awesome. I like that. I've never heard of do that. Brilliant.
Whenever you write some software, somebody somewhere is going to use it in a slightly different way than you envisage.
That's what I like. I have a vision in mind, but when people use it, they're gonna you guys will tell me how we're using it and what things you want to see and how creative ways like this, for example. That's brilliant. I love that.
Well, I'm using the same hashtag across Blabbing for Britain and across the pond and Ask Angelica, sort of 5 or 6 shows are in a week. And it's not until I put that hashtag in that repurpose.io takes over. And I'm slowly working my way through the backlog because the other great thing is that it can see all the video that you've ever created on Facebook. And if you've got the time to go through it, you can bring up videos that you may have created a long time ago. And it's not just Facebook Live videos, is it?
Correct. Any video you've uploaded to Facebook, whether it's live or just a regular video from forever, as long as it's on your Facebook account, we have access to it. Now, one thing I want to bring up is really cool, actually. I've been trying to preach this, and people are saying, hey, this sounds very counterintuitive, but going forward, you never have to upload a video to YouTube again. So if you make video, besides Facebook Live, if you do videos yourself, your go-to place is always YouTube. Hey, upload to YouTube because of search engine traffic and all that good stuff. But hey, Facebook likes videos too. Let's upload to Facebook. Then you got to upload in 2 different places. Well, now you don't anymore. You can have a rule that says every time I upload a video to Facebook, just upload a copy directly to YouTube. So any content you're creating that's not Facebook Live, upload to Facebook and then let Repurpose send that to YouTube for you. It's a whole new way about video now. It's regular video, not live video.
Yeah, that's awesome. And welcome, Jason. Do you have a question? Annie, Jason, Annie, have a question, Jason?
No, I'm sorry. I don't. I just was trying to get into the chat window on Be Live.
Nice.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks. I'm confused. You something you want to say or?
No.
Right, okay. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Now this is live video and interesting things happen. Annie, it's been a brilliant session. I thank you for creating repurpose.io. I'm going to enjoy using it in the coming weeks and months. And thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
And to anybody who's watching, after the show, we'll post the links that you need to go on the repurpose.io trial and to the Udemy course as well. But I'll probably do that when Hani's actually had a look at it. But to everybody who's joined us tonight, thank you. I've no doubt if we do talk afterwards that we may come up with something on a regular basis, but I'm not going to push that now. I just want to say, Hani Mourra, thank you for joining me tonight, this afternoon, wherever you be around the world. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Right, and we are closing the broadcast. Thank you for watching us, and we'll catch you all later.